How's it going? Radal here, back with another Zapekist video. This time I'm going to be doing pretty much the same challenge that I did in the last video, using the random track piece mod to pick random pieces for every part of the track that I'll be building. Only this time I've decided to make it even more difficult for myself, and I'm not going to do a single test run of the entire track until track and deco is complete. I have no idea how this will go. It's pretty likely that it ends up being a track that's just impossible to finish. I'll jump straight into the level editor and see what I can do here. Now, just like last time, I'm going to start with this basic layout just to make sure that the first few pieces are nice and flat and there's actually a chance to get up to speed without it immediately becoming jank. So now we'll generate the first piece and see what we end up with. It's not the best first piece. I might reduce the speed of this start a bit because that's a very sharp turn to go straight into. Now this piece might have saved me. I'm assuming that I'm going to be able to sort of lip off here into that half pipe piece. And with the speed that you've got from this fan, that might actually work now, so I won't need to reduce the speed anymore. This has already gone very downhill very quickly. I have no idea if this start is going to work at all. I think I'll keep this track short, maybe go for 20 blocks in total for the layout. I really just need either another wall ride piece or some sort of landing here to turn this into an underflip. This is definitely a bit of a gamble that I've gone for here. But the plan is, you lip off here, go on the half pipe, onto this wall ride and underflip into this slightly rotated corner piece. I've rotated it 10 degrees downwards just to create a landing ramp of sorts. With a lot of awkward rotating, I've managed to make this next piece line up smooth, so hopefully, as long as this first bit goes alright, should be able to get a bit of a break from the jank here. And another transition that should work pretty smooth there. This bit might be getting a little bit more sensible now. After that awful start, this is starting to go smoother. I was pretty concerned when I got that piece, but I'm hoping this will work. It looks like a relatively smooth transition from this. Outer tubes are always difficult without any testing. It's hard to know how much speed you'll have here, or what angle you'll even be approaching it at really, depending on how much speed you come out of the earlier tube with. I'm assuming that there'll be enough speed to make it up this pretty smoothly, but I definitely need to start going back downhill, because I'm worried that all the speed will be lost right at the beginning on that first wall ride transition. And it's not much of a downhill, but it is downhill, so at least the risk of a speed check is gone for now. It's a pretty horrible piece to get, but luckily I'm already inside the tube here, so you should be able to wall ride along the centre of it. I assume there'll be enough speed that that won't be a worry. And this is a bit of a strange transition, but I'm hoping it'll work, and I've rotated this piece to get the angle at the bottom here to be completely flat, so most pieces should be able to transition from this okay. I just need to hope that it's not a wall ride piece. And that was pretty much perfect. It isn't the smoothest transition here, but it should work fine for what it is. It's definitely going to be smoother than that first section. Now this isn't so ideal. I'm not too sure what to do with this one. Decided to just rotate this and treat it like a flat road instead, but I've put it on a bit of a slope so you can get a nice jump and land on this, and hopefully not get any sort of weird bounces from a flat landing. I'm not really sure what else I could have done with that other than just stick it there in some way. I suppose I could rotate it like this, which I might actually do depending on what piece I get. And that's one of the best pieces I could have got. You get a slight drop, depending on how much speed you've got. You might just end up skipping that piece, but ideally you'll roll along this and just drop off the edge here into this tube. And now I think I'll do 4 more pieces. I said 20 originally, but after those first few it's actually gone quite smoothly, so I'm happy to make this a little bit longer. That's not an ideal piece as it is an outer tube piece, but I think it should work. I think the angle you enter this one at, you should be able to go diagonally across and transition quite smoothly onto the centre of the outer tube. And that's not a bad transition, an outer tube into a wall ride. I've stepped it slightly back just to allow a little bit of give if you're not on the perfect centre line when you get there. And we'll see what comes next. That piece is going to do absolutely nothing, but at least it's easy to deal with, it's not anything awkward. We've got 1 more piece and then I'll place the finish block. And that's a pretty nice final piece. Got a nice smooth landing from the exit of this wall ride into a nice downhill transition there. And I'll just place the finish block. Right, now I think it's time to throw in a little bit of deco. I'll just do this as a time lapse. I'll do some basic terrain and deco, add some checkpoints where I think they're needed, and then we'll do the final test run to see if I've actually made a completable track here. And I think that's where I'm going to leave the deco. I'd say it's as done as it can be for a simple speed build like this. It's in a different style to usual as well. I thought I'd try and change it up a little bit. So now the only thing left is the dreaded moment of truth of, is this a playable track? Honestly, I feel like most of it will be pretty smooth other than this first bit here. And if this first bit can't be done, I will change it, although that will mean I've kind of failed the challenge, so I'm hoping I won't have to do that. I think it's time for the validation run. It's not the best track, that's for sure, but it is completable, which is as much as I think an achievement can be made with this challenge. Unfortunately, the final route does involve skipping a few of the pieces, so they've not technically all been used in the way they were intended for, but at least there is a completable track with working checkpoints and deco, all made with random track pieces and zero testing. So I'd say, in that sense, it's been a success. So, thanks for watching. If any of you have building challenges that you'd like to see me attempt, just let me know in the comments or anywhere else you want to tell me about them. I'm always happy to give a challenge a go. And I think I'll leave it there.